If you want to find out which state had the lowest common entrance cut-off marks, make sure that you hit the like button. Hello folks, and welcome to The Scoop with Bolanle. We're going to be taking a deep dive into the chaos of our beloved nation, Nigeria. I'm Bolanle, and I'm going to be your guide through the labyrinth of lunacy. Now today we're going to be tackling the scandalous states of education in northern Nigeria. You guys need to hold your hats because this is going to be a wild ride when I dish and give you some insane facts about education and the current state of education in northern Nigeria. Education in northern Nigeria. This is a topic that it never ceases to fill me, and the reason why I was drawn to this was because of this specific video I saw. Take a look.
This is a primary school and even the junior secondary school in one of the states in northeast Nigeria. It may interest to know that this is the GS1 class, and then this is primary 4 and 5. This is a school that is under the state government. One surprising thing is that there is only one teacher in this school, and the teacher is under the employment of the state government.
Exactly. So before I get to that video, let me just give you guys a few facts. Did you know that in the latest West African Senior School Certificate exam, I think they used to call it WAEC, but it's now called something else. It's called WASSCE. Of the 18 lowest performing states, guess how many states were from the north? Just guess. Comment down below. Guess. Write the number. Well, I'll come back to that later. So let's now talk about our universities. There are only 5 northern institutions that have managed to sneak into the National Universities Commission top 50, right? These are like really bad numbers. So let's go to enrollment. The north of Nigeria is allegedly home to 50% of Nigeria's population, but this part of the country also claims over 70% of the 13.2 million kids that are out of school. So 13.2 million kids are out of school in Nigeria. Of those, 70% of them live in the north. What happened to the free basic education programs that are so popular? What's going on? What's happening? Well, we can see what's happening. Why would I send my child to school if the school looks like that video that I showed you guys earlier? This is the fact that's completely blew me and shook me. I don't know if you guys remember common entrance, like the dreaded common entrance. Oh my gosh, I was so terrified of doing common entrance. Anyways, but in 2018, Zamfara, we'll use that as an example. There were only 28 students, guys, 28 students applied for the National Common Entrance exam. Fortunately, Zamfara has done a great job, and this year they've increased their numbers to 2,091 students. Now, to let you guys understand a little bit about what common entrance is what you're going to do if you want to go to a federal government unity school. There are over like 100 unity schools, and these government schools are generally quite good, and of course their cost of education is way cheaper. It's technically free, but you have to pay a few fees. So for example, QC, Queen's College, these are federal government schools, but they're also part of the unity schools. So what they've done is, across the country, they've gone ahead and they've done specific cutoff marks that students from different states need to have to be able to enter a unity school. The reason why this was done was because they were trying to make it more equitable, specifically for states that were struggling with education. So for example, if you are from a specific state, your cutoff mark is going to be different on what it takes for you to enter into a federal unity college. I'll give you guys some crazy numbers. 2021, Kebbi State, to say that you would be able to enter a federal government unity college to gain admission, all you needed to do was score a cutoff mark of 9 points. So when I saw it, I thought to myself, is it 9 points out of 20? Is it 9 points out of 50? Is it 9 points out of 60? Is it 9 points out of 10? No, it's 9 points out of 300. All a male, mind you, male students from Kebbi State needed to do was get 9 points so that they can enter secondary school. And then the females, for some reason their number is higher, needed to get 20 points to be able to get into a federal government unity school. Meanwhile, in other states, you have numbers as high as 139. And of course, a lot of these cutoff marks that have higher numbers are for students who are from southern states. All of the 10 states with the lowest cutoff mark, all of the states are northern states. On the list, when they did, this is what your cutoff mark is, this is what your cutoff mark is, every single state that had the lowest required cutoff mark are northern states. I don't even want to go into the fact that that is really unfair for students who are sweating and toiling and are doing whatever it is they can do to do well in common entrance, and that a student who has a requirement of only 20 points will easily get into a federal government unity college. Can you call it discrimination? But it's not fair. I understand that the policy was originally put in place to try and level the playing field and create equity, but that's not equity. That's not equitable. How about the illiteracy rates? According to the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, most northern states except Taraba, Plateau, Nasarawa have literacy rates below 50%. Meanwhile, in the south, no state falls below 70%. You know, guys, the reason why I'm talking about this is this crisis has some severe implications. If almost half of the population, well, they say in the north is almost half of the population, is not educated, half of the population is uneducated, half of the population is constantly not getting good quality of life, because they don't know their rights and they are in captivity of their mind. They don't have access to resources. They don't have access to education. When you don't have education, you're not going to be able to grow. There's no innovation. There's no economic growth. Everything is stagnant. Imagine an educated Nigeria. Imagine the growth it would harness for the whole country. Mind you, in 2016, USA funded an education project worth $117 million for 3 northern states. So what happened? Is it that school that you guys built? This is a deeper issue. There's a pervasive disinterest in many northern Nigerian states, and this disinterest dates back to what was left by colonial rule. Colonial rule in so many ways disenfranchised the North, and they placed emphasis on people who were from nobility versus people who were educated. It was like, oh, you're royal, you come from this lineage, you come from that lineage. Oh, okay, no problem, you're the leader. We're gonna give you the reins of the town. Whereas in southern Nigeria, you had to be educated. A lot of the people who became leaders, a lot of the people who were given the realms of authority in southern Nigeria, they had to have been educated. So this is what's now happened, is that you have a whole populace of people who education is not seen and valued because that was what was left. Guys, I am flabbergasted. I am shocked. I am beyond confused as to what the heck is going on. Because that video that I showed you guys at the top, baby, that ain't a school. That is not a school. Again, I asked, what's the Nigerian government doing about this? Because education lies in the hand of the Ministry of Education. What are you guys doing about this? Those kids in that little shack are gonna grow up. And if so many of them are uneducated like that, don't forget, it affects every one of us. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts, because, bruh, I'm weak.